Really have nothing to say. What up, y'all? Back again today with a very special video. So today, I just wanted to come and check in with y'all. Trying to be a little bit more consistent with just popping up and doing lives. Old school YouTube. I'm trying to keep the old school YouTube alive, and just do random live streams, just random thoughts. I'm still not to the point where I want to do full classes right now. So we'll just look at it like summer school. What up, Jay? We'll look at it like it's the summertime and class is not in right now. I just want to do some old school live streams, like how YouTube used to be back in the day. I will hopefully get to the point where I'm doing classes again with the whole shebang, videos, PowerPoint presentations and screenshots and deep research and stuff like that. But right now I just wanted to go live at least once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks, something like that, just to touch bases with y'all. Kind of get, I guess, some of the things out of my mind that I've been thinking about. I don't want to abandon the channel or nothing like that. So I don't necessarily have anything I want to talk about. I might show a few videos that's on my Instagram or something like that. But I just wanted to check in with y'all, see how everybody's doing, make sure everybody's okay. Make sure everybody is holding it down. I just wanted to show my face, make sure y'all see me. I'm still free. I'm free. There isn't one day that goes by that I'm not grateful for being out in the free world, as they call it. Out here, when you're in jail, they call this the free world, Everybody in jail wants to be in the free world. And so I'm grateful to be free. I'm grateful to have some money. I'm grateful to have a job. A funny bit of a funny news update from my job. So you guys know I work in the hospitality industry. I work in the restaurant industry, and I've been kind of updating you about some of my challenges of being the only black guy at my job and stuff like that. But I'll show you the well, I guess I shouldn't show the screenshot. Well, I'll show the screenshot. I'll just edit it to where you don't see the other people's names. But my manager came to me the other day, and when I was leaving for the day, and she was like, "Hey, Josh, I wanted to show you something about you, something good about you." And I was like, "Oh, well, what happened?" You know what I mean? Because I'm not used to getting any good news about me, especially at work and stuff like that. Anyway, my manager just came to me the other day and showed me a screenshot, or showed me the numbers of the highest grossing waiters. I'm a waiter, I'm a server at a restaurant for my day job or whatever. And my manager just showed me the other day a screenshot of the highest grossing servers in the restaurant. So if you don't work in the restaurant industry, basically it just means whoever sold the most food and products and drinks and everything, whoever's the highest seller. So whatever industry you're in, just imagine the highest. If you're selling, TVs, if you're selling electronics or something like that, the highest seller. Like, they keep a metric of all this. Anyway, my manager came to me the other day and showed me the results that I am the highest selling server, waiter in the restaurant, period. Above all the shift leads, above all the people who've been there for 5-7 years, above all the bartenders, everybody. Joshua Lee is the #1 seller in the restaurant. Give a round of applause for your boy. Thank you very much. Thank you. I am the number one as of this month or last month, whatever. This is a brand new month, but as of July, late July, I am the highest seller for covering a whole month span. I've sold about $25,000 worth of food and beverage in a month, which is really good. You know what I mean? And it just made me feel happy. I was surprised because she was like, I wanted to show you something. She didn't even, I was about to go home, and this was the manager, this white woman, she's the one who hired me. So it felt even better because she's the one who gave me the job. She gave me the job after one interview. I don't think I've ever been, well, maybe. I've worked at a lot of different restaurants, but this white woman, she's really cool or whatever. She be having her days where she kind of pisses me off, but it is what it is. But anyway, she hired me after the first interview. She was like, oh, you're good. She was like, you're good. And I had an ankle monitor on. Can you believe that? I had an ankle monitor on under my jeans when I went to the interview. She didn't even know it. And I was just going in like, hey, yeah, this. I've worked at this restaurant. This is what I do. This is how I know how to do this. This is what I offer for the company. This is what I believe in. This. I gave her good eye contact. I made sure I was smiling. She's like, you know what? You're good. You're hired. Do you have your birth certificate and your social security card? Bring it to me today, and we'll get you on the floor by next week. And I was like, all right, cool. This was like 2 months out of me getting out of jail. Like on the second month of me getting out of jail, I got this job. Anyway, she pulled me to the side the other day. She's like, Josh, I want to show you something real quick. And she pulled out her phone. And she was like, I was like, because I'm not used to getting good news. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, shit, what is it now? What did I do now? And she was like, look at this. And she showed me I have the #1 sales of all the people that work there. Do you understand how big that is? And I'm not saying that to brag, but I'm saying that I want to give you guys encourage you guys, whatever field you guys are in. We don't really talk about work too much here. I don't know what you guys work in. I never really asked you guys. What up, Solo? What up, Bryce? What up, Jay? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Jay, what do you do for work? You don't have to tell me where you work at, but what industry are you in? What is your title, Jay? And if you're a drug dealer, don't say it. If you're a drug dealer, just say you're in shipping and receiving. Let's put it that way. But I never really asked you guys what you guys do for work or what your technical prowess is or whatever the case. But as you guys know, I work as a waiter for the most part in my day job. I'm thinking about getting a second job, but I just be so damn tired when I get off of work that I'm like, man, I don't know. But oh yeah, weed is illegal in Texas. Yeah, I saw that. We'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, so I work in the waiter industry, and I'm the #1 server. She showed me that. That means my hard work pays off. When I'm not just saying that like to be, what's the word, cliche or whatever the case. I'm really telling you guys, I'm in a new phase in my life, and I praise the Most High. I have a place. I'm staying in a home. I have a home. I have a bed. I have a shower. I wasn't able to. It's so sad, man. When I was on that run, when I was on the run for like 6 years, bro. 7 years, really technically 7 years I was on the run, and I didn't have a home. I didn't have a shower. I had to shower at the gym. I didn't have a bed. I had to sleep on the floor of empty apartments. I didn't have a refrigerator. I was eating out every night. I didn't have a microwave. I didn't have little stuff that people don't even think about. I didn't have a garage to put anything in. I had to have a storage unit, to keep my bike and keep all my little belongings in. I didn't have a rug. I couldn't buy like picture frames or like anything. I couldn't buy decorations for the house, you know. And now I'm in a position where I can take a shower every day. I can look in the mirror before I go to work. I can iron my shirt. I can be presentable. And my mind is so much more clear. You know, I'm not high every day. And it's paying off, you know. And anyway, I say that to say all of that matters because now I'm able to be more presentable at work, and I'm able to be more present at work. I'm at work and I'm focused on work. I'm not worried about where I'm asleep tonight. I'm not worried about if the police are going to take me to jail or kill me or anything like that. So I'm just overall a better person. I'm more personable. Like I go to work and I have small chat with the employees. I tell people good morning. I used to be high and paranoid and not wanting to talk to nobody and shit. I used to come to work and just be like, whatever. Now I'm like, hey, yeah. Good morning. How are you? Oh, yeah. Oh, what did you do yesterday? Oh, yeah. Good job. Yeah. You know, so I've learned a lot of things. And anyway, my manager, she came to me the other day and she's like, Josh, you're the #1 salesman here. You have the highest sales above even the kiss ass. This one dude who's right beneath me, he's #2. He is like the kiss ass that, you know, he gets all the best shifts and he's the shift leader, and he's able to designate what everybody does for their closing duties and all type of shit. He gets the best tables. He stays there the longest. He gets there before everybody else. He leaves after everyone else. And I have higher sales than him. And I was like, oh shit, you know, that just shows me. And that's not just for one day. This is a continuous month of tracking, you know. So like I said, I've sold about $25,000 worth of product, you know, in a month. And there's only 30 days in a month, so that's like about $1,000 a day, really a little bit more because I'm off 2 days a week. So I just say that to say that, you know, hard work does pay off when you are consistent. So I want to let you all know that consistency is very important, especially in your job, and it's also important what other people think of you. You know, I'm very aware now and very cognizant of what other people think of me, whether that's my coworkers. And it's not to say that you need to fake like you're somebody else or you need to put up with some bullshit. It's just saying that it's important what your coworkers think about you. You know, it's important what your managers think about you, especially the manager who's going to be making your shifts and giving you these opportunities or keeping these opportunities from you. It's important that you make them feel safe. You make them feel like you're an asset to the team. You don't want them to feel like you're a threat or they don't like you or they don't understand you or anything like that. You don't want them to feel like that. I've been on that side too much. And I'm telling you guys, it's important what other people think about you. Which brings me to my next point of, you know, fixing, not only fixing, but maintaining relationships. And I've talked about this before, but I just want to reiterate it. You know, when in the Bible, when God created Adam, right? You guys can look it up, but when God created Adam, basically he gave Adam does anybody know what God, when he created Adam, what was Adam's job? Solo Dolo says I'm buffering. Am I buffering, y'all? Do I look like is my signal okay? If my signal's okay, put number 7s in the chat. Firefighter. That's huge, bro. I never even knew. Alert that says I messed up, but anyway. Yeah. So Solo Dolo says that Adam's job in the garden was to work the garden. Okay, now when you say work the garden, and yes, we know he was naming all the animals and he had dominion over the animals. We'll get to that second part in a minute. But what do you guys take from that idea of working the garden? What does it mean if somebody says your job is to work the garden? What can you be a little bit more specific, or can you elaborate on that? Because I think it's important. I think it's symbolic for what men need to do in our relationships. Because remember, we're talking about Adam, the first man that God created. God created, you know, if we're talking about the Bible, some people don't believe in the Bible. Some people think that the Garden of Eden and Adam and Eve, that's just whatever. But let's just take it on face value. God created this man, and he gave him a job, and his job was to work the garden. What does that mean? Let's just put it in today's perspective. If I give you a job to work the garden, what would that mean? If I say, look, this is my garden, or this is the garden, your job is to work the garden. What would you, if you put that on a resume, what would you say that means? Because I think that's very important. I just want to read y'all, water the vegetation. Okay, fair enough. Water the vegetation. If you put it on a, if you were Adam and you put your job description on a resume, because you know the resume, you got to go elaborate and tell them exactly what you did, what would you say? And that there's no wrong answer. I'm not particularly looking for one particular answer. I just want y'all to think about it. When Adam is supposed to be, what did you call it? Work the garden. When Adam is supposed to be working the garden, what does that mean to you? To me, what that means is, like he said, watering the garden. It's not just watering the vegetation, though, right? I knew this one dude recently who was into gardening and growing plants and stuff. And it's not just watering. It's not just watering, though. It's planting. It's cultivating, it's watering, yes, it's observing, and it's overall maintaining. So that's the thing that I want to talk to y'all about. Cleaning up, it's also about cleaning up, yes, very important. Digging, you got to get your hands dirty, you know, you got to be patient. You got to, if you see maybe the plant is leaning a little bit, you got to straighten it up and make sure it grows straight. There's a lot of things involved in gardening. So the word that I like to use that Adam was given was to maintain, right? To keep the pest away. That's a good one. Good one. That's another good one. So think about that. Think about how many things are involved in keeping the garden. We've said watering, planting, keeping the plant straight, you know, observing, planting the seed, cultivating the seed, giving it fresh nourishment, fresh soil, keeping the pests away, right? Overall, maintaining. So in my opinion, or my perspective, is that God gave Adam the job of maintaining the garden. He didn't have to create anything. He just had to maintain the garden, making sure your soil has proper nutrients. Right. These are things that even I still don't know everything about, but the dude that I know that was into gardening, and I saw him, he grew a tomato plant, he grew bell peppers, and I forgot what other plants he had, but I saw him from the beginning with the little bitty seed. He put it in there and grew the seed and put it in this and put it in a pot and this and that and was watering it and this and that. And before you know it, you look over there and this tomato plant is 5 feet tall. It went from a seed to 5 feet tall, and now it's growing tomatoes and shit like that. I'm like, damn, that made me want to look into, you know, gardening. When I get my own little land or my own little backyard or whatever the case, I want to look into gardening because it's really cool. And I watered his plants for him. He didn't ask me to or nothing, but I just went back there a few times and watered his plants. was like, this is pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying this to say the purpose of Adam in the garden, his job was to maintain the garden, okay? Maintain the plants, maintain the earth, the soil. And yes, of course, as Solo said, he also had the job of naming all the animals, but he had dominion over the animals. That means he had to take care of the animals too, make sure everything was in order. So I'm saying this to say, for you men out here, our job is to maintain and to oversee. Okay, maintain and oversee, which are two different things in their own right, but I want to focus on maintaining right now. If I tell you to maintain my garden, hey, Bryce, I'm about to go out of town. I'm about to go out of town for 2 months. I need you to maintain my garden. If you love me, you're going to ask me, okay, cool. How do I do that? I say, okay, you got to water them once every other day. You got to make sure you put this seeds in the fertilizer or whatever. And you got to make sure you don't see any bugs on the plants when you go out there. You got to make sure if you see that this plant is leaning over that way, you got to put it back up right, even if you got to put some stuff at the bottom to make sure it's growing up straight. These are the things you have to make sure they're in the sunlight, but make sure they're watered, this and that and the third. Okay, cool. This is how you maintain the garden. Okay, so now I want to talk to you guys, to you men, about maintaining relationships. And this is the season that I'm in right now. I'm trying to repair, because remember, in the garden, you might have to repair some things. You might go outside one day and the plant got so tall and there's fruits hanging off of it now. Now it's leaning over because the fruits are heavy and now it's leaning one way. You got to go outside and put some soil right here and put a stick right here or whatever and make sure that it's, you got to maintain it. You got to maintain it. You got to repair it. Sometimes you might see some bugs that ate this thing off, or this leaf then got shriveled up. You got to cut that leaf off. You got to trim this. You got to trim that. You got to water that extra. Oh, this particular plant needs some extra attention right here. Okay, let me do this. Let me do this. So the season that I'm in right now is maintaining, repairing, cultivating, and maintaining relationships. And a lot of you guys have seen, some of y'all have seen the video that I made recently where I was at the Black-owned restaurant. If you haven't seen that, go watch it. It's on my videos, talking about a Black-owned restaurant in Houston. And I was talking about my brother. I haven't seen my brother in over 10 years because of some family drama. And basically, he got caught in the crossfire. And I just cut everybody off and I didn't talk to him. He didn't really do anything per se to me, but I felt a certain way and I cut him off along with everybody else. But this is my little brother, you know. I haven't seen him in over 10 years, since he was about 18 years old. And anyway, we recently repaired our relationship and we're working on cultivating our relationship and maintaining it. But that takes effort. So I need to remind you guys that in order to cultivate, repair, and maintain a garden, the garden, in this sense being your relationships, you need to maintain them. You need to put in effort. So that means calling them every now and then. That means reaching out, texting them, something that I'm not good with, because especially when I'm going through my own shit, I'm very good at when I'm going through my own stuff. I just say, fuck the world. You know what I mean? I'll look up and it's been 2-3 years. I haven't called you. I haven't texted you or nothing. And that's not okay, especially for people that you love. So I'm focusing right now on one of the people that I'm focusing on, you know, maintaining my relationship with is my brother. And remember, God gave us the responsibility and the job of maintaining our garden. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. So whether it be your baby mom, your kids, your whoever it is in your life that you need to try to maintain the relationship with and cultivate a relationship with, I want you to take those steps to do it. Now, if those people are poisonous for you, toxic, or whatever you want to call it, then keep it where it's at. But if you understand that this person brings value to your life, or you bring value to their life, do what you can to cultivate, repair, and maintain the relationships in your life. Which brings me to my next point. So I just have a bunch of stuff that's kind of in my head that I just want to get out. So as you guys know, I'm a father, and I haven't seen my kids in a long time. But this goes back into the Adam situation. You know, when you have kids, you're gonna realize. Bryce, do you have kids? I don't think you have kids, Bryce. And if you don't, I know. Solo said he has a kid. Jay, I can't remember if you said you recently had a kid or not. I think you told me you had a kid, that you just had a kid, Jay, or no. Maybe I'm thinking something else. But for any of y'all who don't have kids, this conversation, this part of the conversation you might not understand yet. But if you have a kid, especially like Solo, he said he had a kid, one thing you're going to recognize as you get, I know you just had your kid, Solo, but maybe you're already starting to recognize this, and I pray that you understand this later. Being a father, or being a parent in particular, but I'm just talking about being a father right now. Being a parent and being a father, you're going to start understanding the position of God a lot more clear, a lot deeper. You know, once you have kids, because there's going to come a time where, and I pray that y'all don't have to deal with any of the same drama that I'm dealing with, but you're going to have to be patient with your kids, for your kids. You're going to have to give them grace. You're going to have to give them understanding. You're going to have to just be there for them, even if they don't want to be there, even if they don't know about you. You know, there's things like, for instance, God does not abandon us. God is always where he is. And it's on us to turn to him and talk to him and find him, but he's never going to run away from us. He's never going to back away from us. He's always right there with his arms open, even when we mess up, even when we rebel against him. It's important to play the role of God in your children's lives. And that's when you start stepping into that God role where you're like, damn, I see. There's times when I've been rebellious against the Most High. There's times when I've been mad at the Most High. I didn't want to talk to him, or I was ashamed to talk to him. I was embarrassed to talk to him. I felt like he wouldn't understand. You know, I was mad at him. All these type of things, but God never turns his back on us. And that's what I want my children to know, even though I haven't, you know, been able to be in their lives for a long time. I'm never going to turn my back on you. And there will be, and I'm believing that there will become a time where we are able to reunite, despite what anybody says or anybody tries to come in between us. There will come a time where we will reunite. I will be here. All praise be to the Most High. And I just want to give anybody who is a parent out there encouragement that it's important. Look at yourself as God in the situation with your children. Don't ever turn your back on your children. It's like that 50 Cent thing. I don't know if y'all ever seen with 50 Cent and his son. So 50 Cent, y'all got to look into the whole beef with 50 and his son. 50 Cent has two sons. One son is the oldest son, and he looks just like 50. The second one is his younger son that he had from a different woman. And he's real cool with his second son, right? But he's not cool with his first son. He hasn't talked to his first son. They have a beef going on. The mom got in between it. 50 feels like I'm not in their life, but this is what 50 says. 50 says the boy took his mom's side and he's ungrateful, and all of that might be true. But one thing I don't agree with is 50 going public saying, I don't fuck with him. We're never going to be able to fix it. he's a traitor and all this type of stuff. And I don't care what your children do. You have to play the role of God with your children. You are the closest thing to God on this earth for your children. You're the one that shows them grace. You're the one that shows them mercy. You're the one that shows them patience. You show them discipline. You show them guidance, leadership, protection. Like I said, you show them discipline too, though, because God is never going to allow you to just use him and abuse him. God is not an enabler. Somebody put that in the chat. God is not an enabler. He's not going to just give you money or give you this or give you that. And when he knows that you're just there for his blessings. Oh, well, let me give this homeless man $10 because I know God's going to give me 100. Damn, God, I gave that homeless man $10. Where's my 100? Or, hey, you know, let me just go to church this Sunday because I want God to bless me. Damn, God, I went to church this Sunday. Where the fuck is my blessing at? God is not a vending machine. God is not an enabler. God is not a vending machine. You have to have a real relationship with the Most High. So even though he loves you, he's going to protect you. He's going to give you blessings. He's going to give you grace. He's going to give you mercy. There is some things that you need to do in order to cultivate that relationship as well and maintain that relationship as well. So I'm not saying this to say that you always got to just do everything for your kids and allow them to do anything. I don't allow my kids to do everything. I never will. Hold on. I don't understand that comment, Bryce. I don't know what you were talking about right there. And yes, Jay says black children need unconditional love and support. Exactly. We're under attack, but you know, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, I'm just saying that to say, to encourage anybody who's watching this, black, not just black, I'm just going to say children in general and fathers and parents in general, you have to step into the role of God when it comes to your children. You're never going to be the Most High, but you can be able to have some of his attributes. Like I said, in particular, grace, mercy, patience, right? Discipline, leadership, protection, love, unconditional love. So I just want to let my children know that, even though I haven't been able to really see you or talk to you in a while, one of these days y'all gonna see these videos and know that I never left y'all. You know, and to my children's mothers, I'm trying my best. I want nothing more than to repair the relationship that I have with y'all. I have baby mamas, as you call it, and I have come to the conclusion that I've made a lot of mistakes. You know, I was not making any excuses, but I was 19 years old when I had my first son. I was literally 19 when I had my first son. So of course I still was learning stuff myself. I didn't even know myself completely, you know? So I did make a lot of errors in my judgment as far as being a partner and as far as being a father. So I have to try. And here's another thing I learned. Making amends, and forgive me if I'm just going all over the place, but at this point, I just like to just go off freestyle. I think I've said this before. Making amends is not the same thing as being forgiven. Those two things might not ever happen at the same time, or they might not ever happen. You can make amends or try to make amends. That does not mean that you have to be forgiven by the person that you're trying to make amends to. And that's okay. You can apologize to someone. You can be humble. You can be vulnerable with a person and say you're sorry. You apologize. You were wrong. That doesn't mean that they have to forgive you. That doesn't mean that they're ever going to forgive you. That doesn't mean that they're going to forgive you in the time or the way that you want it to happen. You know, and I'm going to give you guys this piece of information just because, you know, I like to be real with y'all, even though sometimes I know that people watch my channel that do not have my best intentions at heart. And to those of you who are watching me to get information to possibly use against me at a later date, I'm praying for you. I love you with the love of the Most High, but I also need you to know that the scripture says that no weapon formed against the true children of the Most High will prosper. So I need you to take that as it is. So anytime you think you're going to hear me say something that puts me in a vulnerable position, the Most High is protecting me. So I reached out to one of my kids' moms recently. I'm blocked, you know, I'm blocked on Instagram and stuff like that. So I found one of my kids' moms recently on TikTok. And I told her, hey, I just got out of prison. I love you. I'm sorry for a lot of stuff. Can we please talk? I want to be in my kid's life. And you know what she told me? She told me, it's been years. Mind you, I was in prison for 2 years. She told me, it's been years, Joshua. Don't try to force me to talk to you. I don't want to talk. If I want to talk, I'll talk in my time. Don't force me to talk to you. Stop talking to me. Stop messaging me. And I didn't blow her up. I didn't send her 50 messages. I just sent that message. I want to be in my son's life. I apologize. I've been to prison. I've learned a lot in the meantime. Can we talk? And she said no. And I didn't like that. I didn't want to hear that. I didn't like that answer. It made me sad. It made me upset. It made me whatever the word you want to call it. I didn't like it, but guess what? Guess what I said? Did I say, fuck you, bitch? Did I say, that's my son, you need to let me see him, I'm the father, who the fuck do you think you are? I didn't say none of that. What I said was, I understand. I don't mean to bother you. I'm not trying to, you know, stalk you or anything like that. I just wanted to tell you that I'm sorry. I apologize for the things that I've done in our life. I love you. And if and when you want me to be in our son's life, I'm going to be here. That's all I said. That's all I said. Because guess what? Remember, I'm in the position of God right now. And I'm not saying I am God. I'm taking the attributes of God. I'm trying to be like the Most High in Christ. So what does the Most High do when he reaches out to you and you rebel against him or you don't allow him to be in your life? Does he say, oh, well, fuck you then. I'm God, nigga. Fuck you. No, he just says, okay, I understand. You're in that phase of your life. I can't force you to be in my life. I can't force you to bring me into your life, but I'm here. My arms are open. You know my location. If ever or whenever you're ready to talk, I'm here. So that's why I want to remind you guys about the story of Adam and maintaining relationships, and also the fact that in order to be a man, you have to model yourself after the Most High. It doesn't make sense to go back and forth with people, argue with people, try to assert your dominance over people. I've done all of that, and I'm telling you that it doesn't bring you any peace at the end of the day. And where I'm at right now, I just want peace. I want prosperity. I want abundance. I want love. I want structure. I want discipline. I want order. I want health. I want life. And Jay says he hopes she comes around. I hope so too. But you know what? Guess all I can do, Jay? Guess all I can do about that situation with my baby mom? All I can do is give it up to God and continue to be on the path that I'm on. Continue to try to be a better person every day and hope that God speaks in her life. Remember, the stories in the Bible, God can soften a person's heart or he can harden a person's heart. If you go look up the story of the Egypt and the Pharaoh and Moses, the Bible says he hardened the Pharaoh's heart to keep the children of Israel there. There's other stories in the Bible where he softened the heart. So I pray that he softens her heart, and I believe that he will. But I can't let these things throw me off the path that I'm on, because remember, there's another scripture. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, in Psalms, I believe it is. No, it's Proverbs. Can somebody put this verse in the chat? And this is for the people with the ears to hear and the eyes to see. In the book of Proverbs, there's a scripture that says a living dog is better than a dead lion. Somebody find that. Somebody's chat GPT that. What scripture is that in Proverbs where it says a living dog is better than a dead lion? And you can take that a lot of different ways, but the way that I want to structure that verse right there is to say this. I'd rather be a living dog than a dead lion. Of course, everybody, if they had a choice, they'd be a lion. They'd be able to roar and control everything and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But what good is a dead lion? I'd rather be a living dog. Call me a dog, but I'm living. You can have the lowest opinion of me. You could not respect me, all of this stuff, but I'm living and I'm thriving versus a lion who everybody's scared of and he's able to roar and assert his dominance, but he's not living. What can he can't do anything at that point. So as long as I'm alive, I'll take whatever insults you have for me because I can always fix something when I'm alive. If I'm a dead lion, what point is that? And this is how I would have felt if I would have passed away when I was in my ignorance. And when I was very smart. I've always been a very intellectual person, but before I went to prison, I was living in ignorance in the sense that I just wanted to be a lion and just control everything. That's ignorance. The true wisdom is understanding that you can only control yourself. There's a proverb, not in the book of Proverbs, but there's just an ancient proverb that says, the truly wise man knows that he knows nothing at all. I'm going to say that again. A truly wise man knows that he actually knows nothing at all. Because once you feel like you just know everything, your growth is stunted and you're probably biased and you're probably wrong about a lot of things and you're not able to grow anymore. Oh, that's Ecclesiastes. Forgive me. I thought that was Psalms, but you're probably right. That's Ecclesiastes, which is also attributed to the same writer, Solomon. So it goes the book of Psalms, the book of Proverbs, then the book of Ecclesiastes. And allegedly, Proverbs and Ecclesiastes are written by the same dude. They're back to back. But anyway, it says here in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, verse 4, for to him that is joined to all the living, there is hope. For a living dog is better than a dead lion. For to him that is joined to all the living, there is hope. You see that? There is hope. As long as I'm alive, there is hope. Can somebody put that in the chat? As long as I am alive, there is hope. And that is to encourage you for anything you're going through. As long as you continue to live, continue to survive, or as the scripture says in the New Testament, endure until the end. As long as you can endure and be alive to tell your story whenever the cameras get on you, and you can finally tell your story, as long as you're alive, there is hope. A living dog is better than a dead lion. Can you understand that? Can we understand that in this chat? So, that's, and again, it doesn't mean you have to like it. It doesn't mean you have to be happy about the situation you're in, but as long as you're alive, there is hope. So with my children who mean everything to me, I don't know how I would be if I didn't have any kids, because like I said, I had my first kid when I was 19 years old. I was 18 when she got pregnant. I was 19 when he was born. So I don't even know if I would be alive, what I would look like. Would I be rich? Would I be poor? Would I be free? Would I be incarcerated? Would I be on drugs? Would I be sober? Would I be rich? Would I be poor? Whatever. I don't know what the hell I would be if I didn't have my kids. That's all I know pretty much. I've had my kids since I was a kid. So I don't like not being in their life, but I'm still alive. And I praise the Most High because I have the internet. And one thing that nobody can do, nobody can hide me on this internet. As much as YouTube wants to hide me, you see we only got a few people in this chat right now. I got over that a while ago. I don't give a fuck. I already know I'm not going to get famous off of streaming. And to be honest, I damn near don't even want to get famous streaming anymore. I used to want to get famous off of this type of internet stuff. Like, all right, it's going to be my lane. But now I'm seeing all the people that's getting famous on Kick, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Rumble, and all these people, all these streamers. You got people getting famous for nothing. Everybody's famous. So I've always been anti mainstream. I've always been anti what everybody else is doing. You know, so it only makes sense that all these random and some of these people are actually good at what they do, but everybody's famous right now. They got that streamer university thing with Kai Cenat. By the way, Kai Cenat, I'm on your ass, boy. I seen that video of you talking about we're just black. And what is Kai Cenat? Haitian? Somebody tell me what is Kai Cenat? Because I already pulled up that video of Kai Cenat getting humped by that white man. He getting humped in his back. Yeah, I got that video of you, Kai. I'll bring that bitch out another time. But Kai Cenat, I'm on your ass. It say he's Trinidadian. Chucky says he's Haitian. I don't know what Kai Cenat is, but he's Haitian and Trinidadian. Anyway, have y'all seen that video of Kai Cenat talking about y'all are just black, y'all are just niggas, that's y'all black, y'all don't have no culture, y'all are just black, that's it. You're not Caribbean, you're not Nigerian, you're not Jamaican, you're just black, that's it, you don't have shit. I was like, what? Really, nigga? Why you got the dreadlocks and your hat to the back and the chain on, and you're doing the New York dances and the whipping the nay-nay, and you're using all our slang, we don't got no culture? Okay. All right, bro. If you say so. You got famous off of talking to Black American celebrities and listening to Black American songs and using Black American, African American vernacular English. All right, Kai Cenat. But you let that white man hump you in your butt. And if you guys don't know about that video, I'll find it another day. Go look up Kai Cenat get humped by a mime. You know those mimes, those clowns that they put the face mask on and they're doing like this? The mime? Yeah. Go. I don't know if it's on YouTube, but I have it on one of my streams. I'll find it. Kai Cenat gets humped in his butt by a mime. And he pretended like he was shocked and appalled. You knew that man was going to hump you in your butt, and you didn't take off on him. That was a humiliation ritual, bro. So Kai Cenat, bro, you're just a puppet. And if I was the old school J-Lethal, before I went to jail, I would have exposed your ass for that fucking video. And I already did, but now you talk about Black Americans gonna got no culture after you made money off us, nigga. You cursed yourself. And I'm gonna let you have your little fame right now. But I say that to say all these lame ass niggas getting money right now. All these lame ass niggas getting bitches right now. All these lame ass niggas getting fame and clout right now. That's cool. I'll be cool with my little 7 people in my chat or whatever the case. I'm fine with that. Because I know I'm not the same as y'all. And if I'm not the same as y'all, and I'm the opposite of y'all, and y'all got 100,000 people in y'all stream, of course I'm only going to have a few people in my stream. That is what it is. YouTube thought they could discourage me from going live because y'all not gonna let nobody in my stream. That's cool, whatever, it's cool. I got my few people. I got Chucky here, I got Bryce here, I got Jay here, I got Solo Dolo here, my main niggas here. Shout out. I say that to say, what's the nigga's name? Kai Cenat has this thing called Streamer University now. And I guess he started it like last year or something like that. I think this is the 2nd year. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think he did it again in 2025. the first year, but I was in jail. Somebody told me about it when I was in jail, but I was in jail, so I didn't know about it. But I did see him blowing up. I saw him on a T-Mobile commercial, Kai Cenat on the State Farm commercial, Kai Cenat on a McDonald's commercial. Y'all saw those commercials, right? He's on a McDonald's commercial. He was on a State Farm commercial. He was on a T-Mobile commercial with Snoop Dogg. I was like, oh, yeah, he finally sold his soul. Good job, Kai. You finally sold your soul. Good job. Because remember, the people who really making who print the money, the people who print the actual money, they know where the money's going to and where the money's coming from, where the attention is at. Brad Pitt and long gone are the days of Brad Pitt and Russell Crowe and Tom Cruise. Those aren't the celebrities anymore. Y'all name the new celebrities. If y'all think about the new celebrities, it's the internet people, Drewskis and the Kai Cenats and the this, the that. These are the new celebrities now. Nobody's buying magazines anymore. Nobody's watching MTV anymore. Nobody's listening to Hot 97 anymore. So wherever the internet has their attention at, those are the new celebrities. So of course, Kai Cenat, you do knock jokes and you get on the camera and you fart or you dig up your nose or you do some prank and you got all the fucking attention on you for what they call brain rot. And I'm not taking nothing away from you, but y'all niggas ain't talking about nothing. Let's just be honest. Y'all niggas not moving the needle. Y'all niggas not rocking the boat. When was the last time Drewski really rocked the boat? Yeah, I mean, and shout out to Drewski. I like some of his skits and some of his shit. He be kind of touching on real shit. If you think about it, like the skit he recently made with the Black British people getting the roles of Black Americans. Yeah, that's real shit. But Drewski's not gonna get on camera and really pop his shit like I'm popping my shit. Like, hey, look, this, and this, and this. Drewski has to make you laugh. I'm gonna say it again. Drewski, Kai Cenat, these people have to make you laugh. And if they can put a message in that laughter, sure, they might be able to sneak one or two little conversations into there. But you're not gonna see Kai Cenat really have a conversation, sit down with a serious face, like, hey, look, this, and this. I'm against this. I'm against that. No, I don't want to do this. No, that. You're not. So Kai Cenat came out with a thing called Streamer University, where he's allegedly teaching up-and-coming streamers how to engage with their audience or whatever the fuck. But the whole point is, when you go look up the auditions, everybody's trying to be a streamer. Go look up Kai Cenat Streamer University auditions 2026. Look how many people. It blew my fucking mind. As somebody, I've been on YouTube since 2015. My first channel. If you go look up my first channel, which is also called J-LEETHAL, and go look up the first video, that was in 2015. I had the little bitty dreads. I didn't cut. My dreads grew all the way down here. I cut them off since then. So as somebody who's been trying to get on this internet shit since 2015, it blew my mind to see how many people are trying to get on the internet and talk. Some of them really funny, some of them really talented. Most of them ain't talking about shit. Most of them exaggerating, faking it, doing fake pranks. By the way, 99.9% of these pranks that you see on the internet are fake. I've had people come up to me, try to get me to do fake pranks. I'm like, nah, I'm not with that. I'm cool. Fuck am I putting shit on the internet for that's fake, nigga? The internet is supposed to be the last place where real shit is happening at. Everything else is fake. We already got fake TV, reality TV, all this other fake shit. The internet is supposed to be where real niggas go to congregate. But that's my opinion. But I'm just saying that to say everybody's famous in 2026. You remember, that's when I started realizing like everybody's gonna get famous. And I forget what book that is. That was written in a book years and years ago, that everybody's gonna have their 15 seconds of fame. You remember that video, these nuts, I got them. or all, you can name a million different memes that then went viral. I'm delivered. I don't like men's no more. You can name a million. Name me some memes in the chat that went viral and turned people into overnight celebrity sensations from 2014 until now. All you need is one video to go viral, and you're in the algorithm. So that's why I'm glad I haven't gone viral, because it's like I'm too real. I'm just saying the truth. I'm not saying that to, you know, boost my ego, but I'm just too real to go viral on some bullshit, because my catalog is too deep. If I go viral, niggas is gonna see some real conversations, hear some real shit, and I'm uncontrollable. You understand that? These conversations that we're having, they have to be controlled into a very small group. YouTube will not. YouTube doesn't even tell my subscribers that I'm live. Right now, there's going to be somebody that comes in my comment. If you're watching this video right now after I posted it and YouTube did not give you the notification, put it in the comments. YouTube did not send me the live notification. They won't. They won't. And I'm okay with that, because history is going to tell my story. And I'm on a whole nother journey. I'm on a whole nother journey. Niggas ain't gonna recognize. I saw a video the other day that said Vincent Van Gogh. You guys know who Vincent Van Gogh is, right? The famous painter Van Gogh. They say Vincent Van Gogh only sold one painting when he was alive. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard the same thing multiple times, that Vincent Van Gogh wasn't even famous until he died. Look at Michael Jackson. Yeah, people love Michael Jackson when he was brown-skinned Michael. But if you were alive when Michael Jackson was alive, when he was white and they were calling him Wacko Jacko, you remember you damn near had to fight niggas just to be a Michael Jackson fan. Now everybody loves Michael again. Everybody loves Michael. They act like he was God in the flesh. But go back to 2002, 2003. 2004, whatever year he died, I think he died in 2009. Go back to 2007. Niggas wasn't coming out saying there was Michael Jackson fans at all. What up, Mark Sanchez? All praise be to the Most High. Mark Sanchez, how old are you? Do you remember in 2007, 2 years before Michael Jackson died, who was saying they were a Michael Jackson fan? Now, I've always been a Michael Jackson fan. Very proud and loud. But niggas was not doing the moonwalk in 2007. Niggas was not reposting his shit to 2007. It'd be after niggas die. So I had to come to the conclusion that the majority of the population doesn't even really catch on to a thing until 10, 15, 20, 100 years after the shit is happening. You know, it's going to be the same thing with LeBron James. Everybody hating on LeBron James when he leaves, or if he would have died tomorrow. Everybody be putting up all his old interviews, all his old clips, all his old highlights. It's the same thing with everybody. Let me show you something. Matter of fact, let me show you something, because that brings me to my next point. Let me show you this next thing. Look at this. Look at this.
I didn't want to take the vaccine, but I took it. Millions of other people.
Hold on. Listen. Can y'all hear this? Hold on. Come on, Stephen A. Let me show y'all. Hold on.
I didn't want to take the vaccine, but I took it. Millions of other people did.
Oh, it's because I don't have my hold on. It's because I don't have my what's the name on. Hold on. I need to put my Wi-Fi on.
I want to take the vaccine, but we took it.
Hold on. Listen to Stephen A. Jackson. Hold on. Look at Stephen A. Jackson. Let me put this up real quick. Come on. Shout out. Listen.
I didn't want to take the vaccine, but I took it. Millions of other people didn't want to take the vaccine, but we took it. Why? Because there was a mandate that was handed down. And if we weren't willing to meet that mandate, our jobs, our livelihoods if not compromised in a very significant way, would be completely stripped from us. But there were others who had the courage to say, bump that. And one of those people at the forefront was Kyrie Irving. I bring his name up because I had my issues with him from a leadership standpoint, never as a player, because he's sensational, but with him in terms of leadership. And I didn't look at it as being courageous. I looked at it as being selfish. And I watched Dr. Fauci on Capitol Hill yesterday. And the person I thought about most was Kyrie Irving.
Now, hold on. Let me back this up just so y'all know what's going on. Just so y'all know what's going on. Hold on. Just so y'all know. What the fuck? Okay, just so y'all know what's going on. That is Stephen A. Smith. Now, I made videos about him on my channel. We talked to him over and over, how he was going at LeBron James. LeBron James, speaking of LeBron James also came out and was like, nah, I don't really know about this vaccine thing. And see, this is why I love, you know, I used to say that all the time, and I'm going to say it again. Somebody put that in the chat. What a beautiful time to be alive. Isn't it a beautiful time to be alive, guys? It's beautiful. As much as we like to complain about rent and all this, I just paid rent the other day. I hated it, but I love the fact that I can pay rent and I got a place to go to. I'm in a warm house right now. Isn't it a beautiful time to be alive? Just 5 years ago, and that doesn't even seem that long ago. Remember the Dipset versus the D Block versus the Locks on the Versus? That was 5 years ago. 2020, that was 6 years ago. That whole COVID thing, that was 5-6 years ago already. So people like to be like, well, that was 10 years ago. That wasn't that long ago. 5-6 years ago was literally not, that felt like last week. The Brady Ladam says, remember vax that thing up? Do I remember that? Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember how I was how I got my channel deleted because how hard I was going on that COVID thing? I got my actual channel deleted, and now they gave me my channel back because they said, oops, we made a mistake. Sorry, you were actually right about all that shit you were talking. But at the time, it wasn't popular to say that. Now, this is my point that I'm bringing this man, Stephen A. Smith, up. At the time, and we're not talking about 500 years ago, 50 years ago. 5 years ago, these same people were loud. You see how quiet he is now about, he didn't even give an apology. I didn't see the whole clip. Maybe one of y'all saw his whole dialogue. I can't stand Stephen A. Smith personally. It don't even have nothing to do with his particular politics. I just can't stand Stephen A. Smith, the way he talks. Like, they used to watch him every morning in jail. Every morning. They love sports in jail. This is a whole nother conversation about the slave mindset, but I'm not going to go deep into that. In jail, niggas love football, basketball. Niggas love, oh my God, when it was football season, every fucking Sunday and Saturday, niggas are watching college football, watching the NFL, watching every game, clapping, yelling, fighting over every fucking yard. I couldn't stand watching that shit in jail. And you're going to get in a fight if you try to change that sports channel. You better not even think about it, nigga. You better go put on some headphones, say a prayer to Allah. You better read a book, go take a shit. You better not try to change that sports channel in jail. I don't give a fuck if you're The Rock, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Lee. You're getting your ass whooped if you touch that sports channel in jail. Anyway, Stephen A. Smith, every fucking morning, 7 in the morning, screaming about the Dallas Cowboys or whoever, Alabama State or whoever else. I just can't stand Stephen A. Smith. how passionate he is about this stupid bread and circus sports shit personally. But now he started to get into politics and talking about pop culture. Anyway, if y'all remember, and I have the clips on my channel, Stephen A. Smith was talking heavy shit. Not only Stephen A., also Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq, where you at? Shaq'd in a fool. Shaq'd in a coon. Shaquille O'Neal, where you at? About this vaccine stuff. Shaquille O'Neal was calling people straight up, just calling black men idiot. He straight up called Kyrie an idiot. He's an idiot. Charles Barkley. Where you at, Charles? Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, and Stephen A. Smith, the top 3 tap dancing black men in the so-called sports arena that are gatekeepers. They're there to keep you in line. And any Negro that dares to challenge masses' narrative, they will come out like attack dogs, like Steven from Django, to keep you in your place. Yes, they will. Stephen A. Smith came out and was like, oh, he's stupid. He's an idiot. He's a coward. He's everything but a child of God. Because he didn't want to take the vaccine. And remember, this is at the same time Kyrie was also saying black people are the true children of Israel. Black people are the children of the Bible. Black Americans in particular are the tribe of Judah spoken about in the Bible. This is the same time. Remember, go back to the timeline. This is why I broke all this shit down in my channel before I got locked up. I knew it was going to be important one day. And sure enough, barely 5 years later, here's this same nigga backtracking, talking about, oh yeah, well, you know, the reason why I was, you know, talking shit about Kyrie was because I was going to lose my job. I was scared to lose my money. Who's he sound like? Who said that? Do y'all remember who? Let me take me back to who's my day one people. Who did I expose? What black man did I expose for talk about? I can't care about my integrity. My job is on the line. We black out here. Who said that? We can't worry about the truth. My family's dependent on my money. We can't worry about the truth and integrity. We black out here. These niggas have been doing this. And yes, the answer is da 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 da. The survey says who's the answer. I'm looking for it in the chat. I know you guys know. Steven from Django. Stephen Harvey. Go look up how Steve Harvey was trying to tell that black woman Monique that she needs to shut her mouth even though she's right because she's black and we can't afford to tell the truth because we got to keep our money. We's black out here. Exactly. It's a shame, isn't it, Bryce? Isn't it disgusting? It's fucking disgusting. And now, and somebody tell me that, because I can't stand him, so I didn't even listen to the whole thing. Maybe he actually came out his mouth and apologized. Can somebody do me that favor? Because I can't stand him. Go find this clip and watch the whole dialogue. Tell me, did he apologize? Because I don't care about this whole, you know, this is the reason why I was buck dancing and shitting on that black man for, you know, standing up for his rights. Because it is your right to not get injected by the government. It is your right. Just in case you don't know what your rights are, it is your God-given right to not allow the government to inject a chemical into your arm. That's all I was saying from the beginning of time. It's my right. I don't want them to inject my arm. Now listen to this. Hold on. Listen to the dialogue. I need y'all to hear it again. Hold on. Hold on. Facing back. Hold on.
There were others who had the courage to say, bump that. And one of those people at the forefront was Kyrie Irving. I had my issues with him from a leadership standpoint, never as a player, because he's sensational. But with him, in terms of leadership, and I didn't look at it as being courageous. I looked at it as being selfish. And I watched Dr. Fauci on Capitol Hill yesterday. And the person I thought about most was Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving stood out in my mind because of the heat that he was taking. And now folks were piling on because that was just the latest transgression in their eyes that he was committing and subjecting the public to. He refused the vaccine. New York City's mandate made him ineligible for home games. And he linked his stance to people losing jobs over vaccine mandates. In my opinion, particularly hindsight-wise, it didn't make him stubborn or selfish. It made him brave for his willingness to stand up and say, nah, I'm not doing that. It's just a time for reflection and look at things differently.
It's a time for reflection. Somebody put that in the chat. It's just a time for reflection and to look at things differently. That's what he has to say about it. Now, again, I don't know if he actually went on to say, I apologize. Stephen A., we don't care about your little in hindsight. If I shoot a nigga in the head and say, oh, you know, in hindsight, I shouldn't have shot that nigga in the head, that don't matter. Are you going to rectify that? Are you going to apologize for that? Are you going to try to make that right? Are you going to serve justice for that? We don't care about in hindsight. You were on this, you were on your, and by the way, go watch the video I made where he was talking shit about LeBron. It wasn't just Kyrie, because remember, LeBron also said, I don't want to take this vaccine. But LeBron was the face of the NBA and still is. And they basically forced him. They did everything but force LeBron to take that vaccine. And even when, and shout out to LeBron, because even when LeBron took the vaccine, which I don't agree with, he still came out and was like, look, because everybody was like, okay, LeBron, now that you took that vaccine, are you going to tell all your followers and all the little black kids that's looking up to you to take the vaccine too? He was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I took the vaccine because that's what me and my family came to the conclusion of. It was best for me and my career, but I'm not going to tell my fans to take the vaccine. I want everybody to do their own research and to make their own decisions. So shout out to LeBron for saying that. But yeah, Stephen A. was talking shit about LeBron, Andrew Wiggins, Kyrie Irving, all these people who didn't want to take it. Kyrie's just the only one who stood 10 toes down all the way. LeBron got all the way to the very last day, and he took it because he wanted to continue playing. And who knows what they threatened LeBron with. We'll talk about LeBron at a whole nother day, because some people are saying that LeBron is due for a sacrifice, but that's above my pay grade. If you talk to some people on the internet, they say that they have allowed LeBron to make it this far squeaky clean, and his sacrifice is coming up. But I don't know. We'll talk about that another day. Stephen A. Smith, though, I'm on your ass, boy, because you didn't apologize in this clip. You just talk about, oh, you know, now that I look back on it, Kyrie was actually right and he was brave. And yeah, we know that. We know that. You are late to the party, Stephen A. You're late to the party. The party's already over. You're 5 years, 6 years late, Stephen A. Smith. Talk about Kyrie. Oh, you know, yeah, now that I think about it, you know, Kyrie Irving, you know, he was actually right about all this. And, you know, everybody was piling. You were one of the main people piling on him, Stephen A. Smith. You get paid $100 million just to shit on niggas, Stephen A. Smith, and to keep the people in line and to keep the people entertained by this bread and this circus. And so now, why am I bringing this up? Because it's like I told you earlier about Streamer University, Vincent Van Gogh, and the reason why J-LEETHAL is never going to be famous until it's too late. Because if you look at the news and the mainstream, these people are late. Some of them purposely late. Stephen A. Smith, he knew that shit was wrong from the beginning. He still did it anyway. And now that it's not popular to be on that vaccine stuff. Now he wants to come on our side talking about, yeah. What are you talking about, bro? Stay on that side. And he was talking about Anthony Fauci. Do I have a video of Anthony Fauci? Did y'all see that video of Anthony Fauci? I think I might have saved it. I don't think I saved it, though. Hold on. Anthony Fauci came out and was like, I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I guess they were talking to him about the, and I made a video about Anthony Fauci. Go watch my video. Who the fuck is Anthony Fauci? Made that video on my old channel. Anthony Fauci was coming out talking about take the vaccine and all this type of stuff. Now he's on trial and they're asking him about the vaccine and what money he got from it and why did he force people to do it. And he's talking about, I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You remember that? You see how all of this is happening in real time. It hasn't even been 6, 7 years. It's barely been 5 years. And all of this is already getting exposed. So now I need you to put on your big boy, as my mom say, put on your thinking cap and think about this. Why would I follow the trends, or why would I follow what's trendy, what's popping, what's popular, what's famous right now, when I know in the long run what the history books is going to say about it? In the long run, what the real history books is going to say, it doesn't matter what's popular right now. It matters what's written down in the real life history books. I'm not talking about the American history books that have been manipulated and doctored. I'm talking about the universal God's law, universal history books. You have to stand on business to be in them history books on the right side of history. It's not about what's popular today, because what was popular 5 years ago, the opposite is popular now. It used to be popular to take that vaccine. You were trying to shame everybody and fire them and make them homeless and call them cowards for not taking that vaccine. But in 2026, you talk about the people who didn't take the vaccine are brave and courageous. And look at Stephen A. Smith. He's looking with his eyes down. Why isn't he? Oh, have you ever watched Stephen A. Smith show? Raise your hand if you ever seen Stephen A. Smith show. He's, oh my God, and this and that and that and that. But when it comes time for him to apologize or admit that he was wrong, by the way, I didn't see any actual apology, Stephen. But when it comes time to admit you're wrong, he's looking all down and he can't even barely look at the camera. There's no animation there. There's no bass in his voice. There's no enthusiasm. You should be right there. You know what? I was wrong. I'm Stephen A. Smith, and I was wrong about Kyrie Irving. I was wrong about LeBron James. You don't do that, do you? Do you? You don't do that now, do you, Stephen A.? And that's the reason I don't care about what's popular today, because niggas are slow. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Yeah, y'all, my bad. My bad, bro. So anyway, like I was saying, Dr. Fauci is another example, and I'm trying to find that video of Fauci. I think it must be, I must not have saved it on my Instagram. I must have saved it on my YouTube. Anyway, y'all can go look it up. Anthony Fauci pleads the fifth. And that's what made Stephen A. come out with this thing, because now everybody's talking about how that COVID shit was ridiculous and wrong. And everybody's standing on business about that. But I got my channel deleted and all type of shit from that. And I'm not the only person who had to suffer. Some people lost their jobs. Shout out to Indigenous Queen. I think Indigenous Queen, she's living in New York, or she was at the time. And if I'm not mistaken, Indigenous Queen had lost her job because she didn't want to get vaccinated. And Indigenous Queen was watching my channel all the time. She saw all the receipts I was pulling out. She said, hell no, I'm not getting that vaccine. She stood on business and got fired. And 2 years later, the state of New York was like, okay, everybody who got fired because they didn't want to take the vaccine, we're going to hire you back and we're going to give you back pay. We're sorry. We're sorry. Exactly. That's why I want to give you guys encouragement to stand on business, not just for the vaccine or whatever. Whatever business you know is real and right and true and righteous, stand on that business, even if it's not popular, even if you don't get paid for it, even if you get punished for it, ostracized for it, made fun of. Stand on your business, because when the truth comes out, you are going to be standing on the right side of history. Look at Stephen A. Smith. Now, I'm going to play it one more time. Look at Stephen A. Smith, how cowardly he looks. Looking down. He can barely even look in the camera. No enthusiasm. Didn't apologize. And look how he started the conversation. Well, the reason why I did this is because my job was on the line. I would have lost my job if I didn't get vaccinated. That's why you called another man a coward. If you ask me, that makes you the coward. How you gonna call another man a coward for standing on his beliefs, but you said yourself you didn't want to take the vaccine, but you only did it because you want to keep your job? That makes you the coward, Stephen A. Listen.
I didn't want to take the vaccine, but I took it. Millions of other people didn't want to take the vaccine, but we took it.
I didn't want to take the vaccine, but I took it.
I didn't want to take the vaccine, but I took it. Millions of other people didn't want to take the vaccine, but we took it. Why? Because there was a mandate that was that was handed down. And if we weren't willing to meet that mandate, our jobs, our livelihoods, if not compromised in a very significant way, would be completely stripped from us. But there were others who had the courage to say, bump that. And one of those people at the forefront was Kyrie Irving. I bring his name up because I had my issues with him from a leadership standpoint, never as a player, because he's sensational, but with him in terms of leadership. And I didn't look at it as being courageous. I looked at it as being selfish. And I watched Dr. Fauci on Capitol Hill yesterday. And the person I thought about most was Kyrie Irving. But there were others who had the courage to say, bump that. And one of those people at the forefront was Kyrie Irving. I had my issues with him from a leadership standpoint, never as a player, because he's sensational, but with him in terms of leadership. And I didn't look at it as being courageous. I looked at it as being selfish. And I watched Dr. Fauci on Capitol Hill yesterday. And the person I thought about most was Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving stood out in my mind. because of the heat that he was taking. And now folks were piling on because that was just the latest transgression in their eyes that he was committing and subjecting the public to. He refused the vaccine. New York City's mandate made him ineligible for home games, and he linked his stance to people losing jobs over vaccine mandates. In my opinion, particularly hindsight-wise, it didn't make him stubborn or selfish. It made him brave for his willingness to stand up and say, "Nah, I'm not doing that." It's just a time for reflection to look at things differently.
It's a time for reflection to look at things differently. Really, nigga? Really, nigga? It's a time for reflection. Matter of fact, I'm going to try to find that video on my old channel of Stephen A. Smith talking. It wasn't just Kyrie, Stephen A. You were talking shit about LeBron. You were trying to force LeBron to make that decision too. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find that. Hold on. Because I know I got that video on my old channel too of him talking shit about LeBron. Hold on. Look at this. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. Go watch this video on my old channel, J-LEETHAL. Stephen A. Smith is a traitor. Look at this. This is from 5 years ago. Somebody put that in the chat. 5 years ago. Look.
Thanks, LeBron. Yep. Thanks, LeBron. Yep.
Okay, and last question, we're going to go to Simone. So Andre, please.
Yeah, yesterday Adam spoke about the vaccination program. Obviously, your voice carry a lot of weight on the Player Association and on the NBA in general. Do you plan to get vaccinated as soon as it's available? And do you advise also members?
They asked LeBron, do you plan on getting This was 5 years ago. This is before it was popular to talk shit about the vaccine. They asked LeBron, does he plan on getting vaccinated, and does he plan on telling his followers to get vaccinated as well?
Of the vaccination program, obviously your voice carry a lot of weight on the Player Association and on the NBA in general. Do you plan to get vaccinated as soon as it's available? And do you advise also member of the Players Association to get vaccinated?
That's a conversation that my family and I will have. And pretty much probably keep that to a private thing. Obviously, I've seen, Adam had his comments about, the vaccination and whatnot, but, things like that, when you decide to do something, I think that's a conversation between you and your family and not for everybody. So I'll keep it that way.
All right. Thank you so much, LeBron. Have a great All-Star game. Everyone, thank you.
I appreciate you guys.
Now listen to Stephen A.
Be very clear about something. I fully understand where LeBron James was coming from, right there. And I respect that man immensely for what he had to say. Because we know the shameful history this nation has with what was essentially medical experimentation on black folks. I understand wanting to keep medical issues private. I was right there with LeBron on this. But let me be straight with you about something. In the interest of full disclosure, after long, hard thought spanning the last few months, I've decided I am getting the COVID-19 vaccine. And I'm doing it today, this very day, right after I'm done taping this show. And here's why. COVID-19 has killed more than 525,000 people in the United States of America. More than 2.6 million people worldwide. It's hard to even comprehend the enormity of those numbers. Yet the virus has been especially brutal to my community, with data showing Black Americans being far more likely to get infected, get hospitalized, and yes, even die from COVID-19. And now the data shows Black Americans are not getting the vaccine, at least not at the same rate as other communities. Just in Philadelphia, where Rite Aid pharmacies are distributing the vaccine, 87% of vaccinations so far have gone to white folks, reportedly, yet just 4% to blacks. In a city with a 40% black population, or I should say 40+%, It's like that all across the country, by the way. I personally drove by the Jacob Javits Center in New York City this past weekend. It's a vaccination center. I saw what looked to be at least 1,000 people standing in line. Maybe 10 to 20 of them were black. This COVID pandemic and its impact on the African American community has made me rethink the hesitation I once had, primarily on keeping things like this so private. Why is simple. It's because people are dying. My people are dying. It's because people are dying. LeBron James has done almost everything right since he entered the National Basketball Association. He's spoken out and been on the right side on huge issues impacting the black community over and over and over again. He's been a leader, an influencer. LeBron James has been an example. I encourage him to continue to be that shining example on this. Again, it's necessary. King James, it really is necessary.
What?
After long, hard...
And remember, Stephen A. Smith reportedly gets $10 million a year to do this. $10 million a year. You can go watch that video on my old channel. By the way, my old channel is just J-LEETHAL. Go subscribe to this channel. I got this channel deleted for talking about my vaccine stuff. And I finally got it back because they admitted that they were wrong for deleting my channel. But I'm just saying that to show you that you can't just go along with what's popular today. You can't worry about what's popular or what's famous today, what's cool today. You got to make your own decision and try to make the righteous decision. So Stephen A. Smith, you're the coward. You have the nerve to try to call Kyrie and LeBron and all these other people cowards. And he talk about my community, my Black American community. We got to step up and take this vaccine. You're the coward, Stephen A. You told Black Americans specifically that they need to go out and take that vaccine. And now you're saying that, oh, you know, they were actually courageous for not taking it. Which one is it? Are you going to come back in 5 more years and say, actually, no, they should have took it? Which one is it? How can we trust a nigga that flip-flops like this? I'm going to ask you guys in the chat. How could you trust a nigga that publicly flip-flops like this? You're getting paid $10 million a year from Walt Disney. He works for ESPN, which is a company of the Walt Disney Corporation. You're getting paid by Walt Disney, which is allegedly was a blatant racist. Go look that up. I wasn't alive during Walt Disney's time. Allegedly, Walt Disney was racist. You're getting paid $10 million a year by Walt Disney to do what? Just to talk about sports? No, it's to keep niggas in line, to keep niggas docile, to keep niggas submissive. And if a nigga like Kyrie Irving or LeBron James or whoever else comes out and tries to speak up, or don't even got to speak up, just tries to stand up for his God-given rights, you are there to try to destroy him, Stephen A. Smith. That's a shame. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should truly be ashamed of yourself, bro. Let me see if I have any other quick little videos I want to run through, because I just want to come and talk to you guys real quick. I have a whole bunch of other videos.
There were others.
But I don't know if I want to talk about anything else. Let me see. Anything else that was pressing? I got a lot of other videos. Same thing with Slim Thug. Slim Thug was another one that came out talking about, you niggas are stupid. You better take that vaccine. I want to continue to do concerts. So go take the vaccine so y'all can come to my concert and I can make money. Y'all stupid niggas don't want to get vaccinated. Nobody give a fuck about y'all. Y'all talk about the government trying to kill y'all. Nobody give a fuck about y'all stupid broke niggas. Yeah, Slim Thug said the same thing. Now he has a video recently where he went viral saying he don't want to give no money to homeless people. I don't even want to listen to this nigga Slim Thug, but yeah, I'll play this another day. Slim Thug said, I don't want to give no money to homeless people because they got to go get their own. Slim Thug was another one, came, and I put that on my old channel too. Slim Thug, matter of fact, I'm going to find that video too. Slim Thug came out and said, you stupid niggas need to take that vaccine. Do y'all remember that video? Solo, you've seen all my videos, Solo. You remember that video? Slim Thug came out and said, you stupid niggas need to take the vaccine. I was going in on that vaccine thing. That's why they had to delete my channel. Remember Wendy Williams? Remember Wendy Williams? Why you think Wendy Williams is sick? Why you think Wendy Williams is sick? Look at Wendy Williams. Hold on.
So, are you planning on getting your vaccine?
No.
No.
No. I don't trust it.
So, are you planning on getting your vaccine?
No.
No.
No. I don't trust it. I've never gotten the flu shot either, though, and you and I have talked about that. And several of the doctors on my team talked to me about, Wendy, we'll get the flu shot. I've never had the flu. I'm not getting a flu shot. I very rarely get a cold. I never have headaches. I don't take an aspirin because I feel my heart murmur or something like that. I'm not getting, no, I don't trust it. There, I said it. Yeah.
So, let me go back to the vaccine for a second, because what you say and believe is so important to a lot of people. I mean, millions and millions of Americans are going to say, Wendy Williams didn't get a vaccine, so I don't want to get a vaccine. So let me just ask you, if there's anything that could happen that would make you feel comfortable. 10 million people get vaccinated without a problem. Your neighbor gets vaccinated, a sibling, your son gets vaccinated, someone that's dear to you gets vaccinated and does well, that might make you think, just to get past the hassle of having to lie on my back, recovering from COVID-19, or maybe not recovering, is not worth the risk, that I might actually consider this vaccine.
I'm not getting the vaccine. Listen, 10 million people and more have the flu vaccine, and how many people per year catch the flu? No, I'm not getting the vaccine, Dr. Oz. I'm not. I don't trust it.
And is there something in particular you don't trust about it? The fact that it was made quickly, the fact that we don't have enough follow-up? What specifically is bothering you about it?
Doctors are really smart people, but doctors don't know everything. And that's been proven as well. I'm not getting the vaccine. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't get the vaccine, everybody watching. I'm just saying I'm not getting the vaccine.
That's why Wendy Williams is going through what she's going through right now, by the way. Just so we're clear, that's why Wendy Williams is going through what she's going through right now. I'm trying to find Slim Thug, though, talk about y'all niggas are stupid. Take the vaccine. They were going so crazy with that shit when that shit came out. I need y'all to really go revisit my old channel and go watch some of these videos that these people were talking about with this vaccine. It was insane. Let me see if I can find that video. I got so many old videos. I don't know if I can find it right now, just off the top of my vaccine, Slim Thug. I don't know where this shit is at, personally. I'll find it and I'll post this shit on my channel, on my new channel. But yeah. Niggas was going crazy over that vaccine thing, bro. Now, all of a sudden, because it's popular, you niggas want to question the vaccine and say that, oh, that was wrong. Y'all are late, and y'all should be embarrassed for being so late. Y'all should be embarrassed, not even for being late. Y'all should be embarrassed for how loud you were trying to tell us we were wrong. Now you trying to come on our side without saying, I apologize. I was wrong. I need to re-strategize. I need to rethink before I open my mouth. None of these people, Dr. Oz is another one. The same Dr. Oz that was just threatening Wendy Williams, telling her she needs to take the vaccine, he's now talking about, oh, Dr. Fauci and da-da-da-da-da. Man, whatever, bro. Yeah, shout out to you, Jay. Jay says he's a little under the weather. I'm not feeling good either. I think it's something going around, but I'm not feeling good either, bro. I've been coughing, sniffling, body aches, headache. I'm hot, got the chills. I think somebody at work got me a little sick, but it's all good. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Let me see if I got some other video that I want to really talk about. See if I got any other video. I got a bunch of other videos. All these videos I got, but I don't really have the. We'll talk about all these other things another time. Yeah, bro. I guess today what we want to focus on is standing your position, standing your ground, but also understanding that we have a very important position as men to maintain our relationships, maintain our garden. Remember the Adam and Eve story? Remember Adam had the job of maintaining the garden. It's not always going to be a popular position it's not always going to be easy, and it's not always going to be popular to have to maintain the garden, but you have to. And don't let anybody tell you, including the serpent in the garden, don't let anybody tell you anything different than what you already know to be true from the Most High God. I guess that's how I would connect the things that I've been talking about today. When God gives you the mission or the job of maintaining the garden, don't let a serpent come into the garden and tell you anything different. Whether it's Stephen A. Smith or anybody else, don't let anybody come and try to take you away from your position of what you know to be true, because God already gave you the blueprint on what you need to do. Bryce, you remember when I played that video, they were giving up the burgers and fries? That's another video on my old channel. I'm gonna go watch a bunch of my videos on my old channel because I haven't seen them in years. But I remember the dude, I played that video. The dude was at the Shake Shack. Go look up Shake Shack vaccine free burger and fries. Go look that up on YouTube. Even if it's not my video, you're gonna find it. The governor or the mayor or whatever came out with I'm gonna give you niggas a free burger if you get the vaccine. This is so good. Ooh, you're gonna get a free burger if you let the government inject you with an unknown substance. That's crazy that they did that, is it not? In the year of our Lord 2020 and 2021, that is crazy that they did that. And sad to say, a lot of you niggas fell for it. Not y'all in my chat, but a lot of niggas fell for that. That shows you how deep the psychological conditioning is in this country and in the world. That niggas fell for a free. One of the strikes I got on my channel is because I posted the video on Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme was giving out a free dozen donuts. You get a free dozen glazed donuts if you get a vaccine. Niggas was giving out $100 Visa gift certificate. Niggas was giving out free burgers and fries. Y'all remember the Run DMC song? What was that song called? The Run DMC song? I forgot what that song was called. I used to play that shit all the time. Run DMC came out, made a song. Damn. I think Spike Lee came out and told y'all to take the vaccine. There was a lot of niggas that came out and sold their soul over that vaccine, and now y'all trying to act like y'all don't remember it. Shame, shame, shame. So anyway, I want to remind y'all that hard work pays off, consistency pays off. Be very intentional. Understand that relationships matter. As much as you want to try to be the head nigga in charge, or you feel like you can just do it all on your own, we need relationships with other people. You don't need to have a relationship with everybody in the world, but it helps you to have relationships with other people who love you and care about you. It's important. So now this season that I'm in, I'm trying to repair, cultivate, and maintain my garden. That means my relationships in life. Anyway, that's about it. I'm a little under the weather, like Jay was saying. Oh, community immunity. You remember that? It's about community immunity. I'm talking unity for you and me. Yeah. Let's take the vaccine. Go look up Community Immunity by Run DMC. They came out with like 10 versions? They came out with like 10 parts, right, Solo? Remember we were breaking all of that shit down? Go look up, y'all, Community Immunity by Run DMC. Run DMC sold their soul. Spike Lee sold his soul. Stephen A. Smith sold his soul. Slim Thug sold his soul. All these, Shaquille O'Neal sold his soul. All of these people just for the vaccine. Now, 5 years later, oh man, on second thought, Kyrie was right. On second thought, y'all conspiracy theorists were right. But at the time, the reason why I did it was because I wanted to keep my nice job. Nigga, that don't make you, that don't absolve you. That don't make us look at you like, oh yeah, well, I guess I understand. We all were facing scrutiny. It was just the real niggas who actually did their own research and said, you know what? I'm going to take whatever come with it. Yeah, Brainy Ladam, I don't know if you remember them streams I was doing on my old channel before I got it deleted. I was going in on that COVID thing. Yeah, go watch that stream. Go watch the video. Matter of fact, I'm going to just pull it up real quick. I'm not even going to play it. I just want y'all to go watch it just so y'all know what I'm talking about. Run DMC Community Immunity. And again, a lot of these niggas have never came out and said nothing about this time frame. And even Stephen A. Smith, who said something about it, he still didn't even apologize. Notice he didn't say, Kyrie, I'm sorry for calling you a coward. He just said, oh, I was, look at this. Look at this. Community Immunity, Part 1. We can get back to normal. We can get back to normal. Remember they were telling us that back in the day? Just go ahead and get the vaccine and we can get back to normal. Normal. What is normal for a black man in America? Get out of here. Look. And remember this is targeted at black people. That's why they went and got Run DMC, one of the first mainstream black hip hop groups. Look at all these black people. Look at all these black people. The doctors, everybody got the vaccine. Look. We can get back to normal. Let's all get the vaccine. It's about community immunity. I'm talking unity for you and me. If Doc says it's good, trust me, it's good. Now let's all get the vaccine. If Doc says it's good, then that means it's good. Trust me, let's all get the vaccine. Oh my God. There is none higher. DMC, I will inspire. Time for us to trust and not debate. The vaccine, believe it's safe to take. 9 out of 10 people won't get sick. It's 90% effective and legit. This COVID thing is real and it will find you. It's killing our people. Let me remind you. Back in the days. It's killing our people. Let me remind you. In the days, there was polio, smallpox. Back in the days. Measles and mumps, back in the days. Because of the vaccines, none of those days. Vaccines, they work to trigger immunity. Shots, we got antibody security. We gotta act now. No need to wait. Get your vaccine before it's too late. For real. Get your vaccine before it's too late. Written by DMC. DMC from Run DMC sold his soul, y'all. for a damn vaccine, and no, he's nowhere to be found. Now that all this shit came out and they realized it was just a hoax or whatever the case you want to call it, now he's nowhere to be found. Anyway, man. So I'm gonna think about what I should title this stream. I think I have an idea, but I just wanted to come in again. Didn't really have too many videos and stuff to show you, nothing to really break down, just some of the stuff that's been on my mind. They're still trying to get black people to chimp out and be mad about, they keep pushing this Nolan Wells thing. Have you noticed that? Solo, have you noticed that they keep pushing the Nolan Wells thing? I guess we're not upset enough about that one. They're still trying to Trayvon Martin us with that one. Oh, well, what happened to this black boy? He was on a boat with white kids and they must have killed him or something. And now we got Benjamin Crump. And did they drown him? You guys need to be invested. You need to investigate. And I'm just looking at it like, really? That y'all gonna keep trying. Y'all gonna keep trying every week to get us riled up about it, right? Al Sharpton is on the case. At what point do these niggas retire? Al Sharpton, when are you gonna retire, bro? Just give it up. We're not falling for it anymore. And I'm proud of y'all for not falling for this, going marching and fighting and crying about it. It is what it is. A lot of this should be AI. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. And remember, this is not even gonna be a popular message until 5-10 years from now. You're gonna realize in 5-10 years from now, a lot of these cases and stories and all this stuff, and victims are AI, artificial intelligence, fake. I'm just going to tell you the truth. A lot of this stuff is fake, made to rile you up and get you distracted and take you off the course that the Most High God wants you on. And I'm not allowing it. And I'm telling all my people and my supporters and the people who love me and my community not to follow it. Come on. Now let's all get the vaccine. Love you. Till the next time I see you, holla at your boy. Please vibrate higher.